Well, welcome back, everyone. I was saying to people as they were coming in, it fills my heart with joy that so many of you have stayed to the non-bitter end. There have been occasions where I've almost felt like talking to myself, so I thank you very much for staying with us. We are on the home stretch and we're almost at the end of conference. But before we get to that point, I would like you now to give a very warm welcome to Jeanette Allen, who is Lead OT for Mental Health for Renfrewshire Community Health Partnership for NHS Greater Glasgow and Clyde. And to warmly welcome Dr. Jane Bentley, Karen Old and members of Buddy Beat, who are sitting right beside me right now and are going to perform for you very shortly. Now, Buddy Beat is a community-based mental health drumming group. Jeanette will tell you more in a moment, but I would just like to share a quote with you from a member of Buddy Beat, who summed up the difference this group had made to him when he said, "My life began when I joined Buddy Beat 4 years ago. I can honestly say that this has been the single biggest support to my recovery over this period." So can I now invite Jeanette to come up and talk with you a little about how Buddy Beat came about. Jeanette.
As an occupational therapist, I have been passionate throughout my career about the use of arts and creativity for people's recovery towards mental health. In 2007, I envisaged a group that would move from the psychiatric hospital and out into the community through the social inclusion traffic lights. And today, Buddy Beat exists because of that experiment. My experiment was joined by Dr. Jane Bentley, a community musician who has worked with me for many years and is now on our payroll, and Karen Auld, who is an occupational therapist within community mental health. Today, Buddy Beat is a constituted group in its own right, with its own chairperson, secretary, treasurer and committee. They have their own AGM every year and have been very successful in gaining their own funding every year to support the group. We have a vocational rehab project running alongside it, and 8 of the members that are here today have been trained as workshop assistants. They have their NHS volunteer badges, and I'm hopeful that some of them will also be paid on the payroll. The journey through Buddy Beat has been captured in a DVD called Keep the Beat, Our Journey in Rhythm, and you're actually able to watch it on our website, www.buddybeat.co.uk. Last year was a very significant year for Buddy Beat. They won 3 significant awards, shoulder to shoulder with the general public, mainstream, nothing to do with mental health. Alongside another project I run, which is the Scottish Mental Health Arts and Film Festival in Renfrewshire, we won the Renfrewshire Quality Awards for Health. Very shortly after that, we won the Renfrewshire Provost Community Award for Arts and Culture. But definitely jewel in the crown was a national award, the Epic Award for Voluntary Arts for Scotland. In England, it was a big 50-voice choir. In Ireland, it was a gallery. Can't remember what Wales was, but in Scotland, it was the Buddy Beat. It was significant for us. But the best event of all was our own little award ceremony. We couldn't all go to the glitzy events, and they were definitely glitzy. We had our own awards ceremony, and every member, 25 I think were there that day, got their framed certificate listing the awards that they had contributed to, and it was a joyous occasion. Occupational therapy, the heartbeat of occupational therapy, is about making a difference to the patients and clients that we work with. And Buddy Beat makes a big difference. It's a place where people belong, where friendship is shared, where music is made, and it has been a great privilege and highlight of my career. I hope you enjoy meeting the Buddy Beat.
What is Buddy Beat?
Buddy Beat developed from attending a social inclusion conference organised by the Scottish Government, which was about encouraging OTs, occupational therapists, to become more social inclusive in their practice. I heard about the social inclusion traffic lights and thought, wouldn't it be a good idea to do a social inclusion project, moving an activity from the hospital out into the community?
I first joined the group when Jeanette Allen invited me to take part in a project at Dykebar Hospital. It was quite a short project, but was aimed at social inclusion. I remember the first thing I thought was, this is great to have something that gives people a chance to experience something in hospital and then take it out in the community rather than say, oh, you enjoyed that, but sorry, there's no more opportunities left.
I heard about the group through my manager at the time, which is Jeanette Allen, the head OT, and she asked me to help out in the group. I see Buddy Beat strongly continuing with new people coming in, and there's such a lively, nurturing atmosphere in the group, so the new people feel at home before you know it.
It's almost like a family. We have our ups and downs. We're all on different journeys and help each other on the way.
It really has improved my confidence. It's been great. It took me on to drama in a Cynthia show last year, and it was all about illnesses you can't see, and that's like mental health. Because if I hadn't started drumming, I'd just be up here in myself looking at the four walls.
Really helped me a lot since I started playing a year and a half ago. I've become much more confident. I can talk to people easier, and I'm not afraid to go and speak to somebody, whereas before I would have sat in a corner and not said anything.
The performance side has just been an incredible bonus. We've been all over the place, and it's just been the biggest positive effect on my mental health.
Well, you've heard the talk, you've seen the film, now here's the reality in the flesh. What we'll do, we'll play a wee tune of ours, and then we'll see what kind of music we can all make together. Nervous looks now, they've shut the doors. There we go. Thank you, that's lovely. That's a lovely thing to hear, and it Makes our hearts glad. But now it is time for us all to get active together. So we're going to make a little band based on what we have with us. Now, this middle block here at the back, could you find a conference piece of paper? You know that leaflet that you took out of politeness? You're not really going to do anything with it. So find that piece of paper. And the same with this wee block here. Could you get a piece of paper and a pen? Slightly different. This block here, could you find 2 coins? Large ones are better. You're going to struggle with 5p's. And our groups down the sides, if you have car keys or house keys, could you get them out? So we should have a variety of sounds to keep us happy. It's nice to see everyone getting their money out down here. There you go. So what we'll do, because I think when we think about activities, a lot of us are quite nervous when it comes to music because we don't feel musical ourselves. And music is something that can be broken down and graded just like anything else. So we thought we'd prove ourselves collectively wrong and see that we can all make some kind of music together. So middle group, you're the cornerstone of this whole operation. We're going to get Buddy Beat just to give us a wee gentle pulse. So if you have your sheet of paper, oh, visually it looks great. You should have a look. Great. Keys. Where's our keys? Well, I've got my great. What we're going to do, we're going to go shake, stop, shake, stop. That looks wonderful too. All right, let's go for the coins next. So if you cup one in one hand, and I'll hold it close to the mic and go. So it's I like chocolate. Beautiful. Grand. This saving the best till last. We're going to have, the rhythm's going to sound like shave and a haircut. Oh, we have a band. Tell you what we'll do, if you keep going, we'll stop the drummers, see what it sounds like. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fantastic. I tell you what, let's get a bit more creative. We've set up, these are our training wheels, these rhythms. We'll take off the training wheels, make any kind of rhythm you like with what you've got. Are you ready? After 1, 2, 3, 4, off you go. Great. And I tell you what, let's hear one group at a time. After 4, middle group, keep going. Everyone else, wheel stop. 1, 2, 3, 4, middle group. Great. After 4, let's swap to the keys. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, keys. Looks like fairy dust. Oh. And we'll move down to the coins after 1, 2, 3, 4. Great. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fantastic. Let's add in the keys. And the coins. And the paper. And the drums. So it's time to bring our symphony to a close. So we'll do a little conversation. In a moment, I'll play something. Let's all play it back. Are you ready? 2, 3, 4. Great. Just see some paper.
I really can't follow that. And what you didn't see is what Naomi and I saw, which was all of you doing it. And you looked beautiful and magical and fantastic. So let's thank Buddy Beat again for bringing such joy to us. And so, colleagues, it's time to move on to the closing part of the conference. And it is a great honour for me to be the last ones to speak with you. Hello, Michael. And as well as a great pleasure. So it may just be me, but it does feel as though this year's conference has... Oh, we're going the wrong way. So hang on. Has focused on future directions for the profession. And how important is that we do look to the future. Sometimes, as we look forward to the future, it can suggest a disregard for the present. But let me assure you, and I assume you need no assurance, that it is our excellence in current practice that enables us to look to the future with confidence. Now, over the last 18 months or so, I have spent a great deal of time engaging with members, consulting about the priority areas for the professional body, and debating the levers that will affect our profession going forward. And it's been a very rewarding experience. And it's so important that we at COT don't work in a vacuum. As I've said before, the health of the profession is inextricably linked to the work of its professional body. We are all part of the professional community that is occupational therapy. And as well as our Four Nations community, it is an international community. And we are so delighted to have our colleagues from around the world here with us today in Glasgow. So thank you for those colleagues for being with us. It's a great pleasure for us. And from our international links, we can appreciate that irrespective of where OT is being practiced, whether it's across our Four Nations or across on the other side of the pond, we all share a strong belief in the value of occupation, and we recognise its importance to health and well-being. Policy varies and policies change, but our belief in the importance of healthy and meaningful occupations binds us all together. And more than that, it means we remain occupational therapists, irrespective of what roles we are working in, who we are working with, and how we apply our unique skills. The value of human occupation runs through us like the word Glasgow does through a stick of rock. Couldn't find a picture of a stick of rock, quite like the look of her. Now, the last year has seen some difficult times for health and social care in all the 4 countries. Aside from complete reorganisation of the NHS in England, we've also had significant financial constraints to deal with, welfare reforms, and shocking outcomes from a public inquiry that delivered what is called the Francis Report. Now, some of you in this room may feel that this last matter is not something you have to concern yourselves with, either for geographical reasons or because allied health professions weren't directly involved in what happened at Mid Staffordshire NHS Trust. But I'm afraid none of us can afford to disregard Francis' findings. We all joined the OT profession because we wanted to serve society, to help enable people to live independent and fulfilling lives, to relieve burden and encourage participation and self-control. Sadly, the Francis inquiry demonstrates how easily those within the caring professions can lose sight of their original intentions. Workplace culture, of course, plays an inevitable part. But at an individual and purely personal level, we must hold on to those values that motivated us right from the start to do what we do. Occupational therapy is such a great profession, and we are so very fortunate to be part of it. And yet, sometimes we don't serve the profession, and perhaps sometimes, therefore, we don't serve individuals as well as we should. The more I have talked to members about the profession, the more I have started to see occupational therapy as a vocation. The very hills are alive with the sound of ADLs, amps, rivers, Michael, and mohos. If we weren't passionate believers in the importance of human occupation, We would have hightailed it out of this profession long ago. We stay because we love what we do. And that little badge, I love OT, is absolutely our stick of rock, I think. We relish the challenges. We manage the peaks and troughs. We flex as required. And we continue to develop ourselves and develop our profession. So what does occupational therapy stand for? What makes a good occupational therapist? Well, I tried to think of a number of words, and here's what I came up with. Occupational therapists are outstanding, conspicuous, I hope, courageous, unique, personal, attentive, talented, inspiring people, outspoken people, knowledgeable people, they are assertive, and they are learned. So I think of you as talented individuals. You're all my heroes and my heroines. You practice on an evidence basis. You respond to need. You are ambitious, I hope. I believe that's why you're here. You want to develop your service, yourselves. You persevere. My goodness, do you persevere, and good on you. You're very intuitive as a group. You're very sensitive. And I believe we are starting to be very tenacious. So why all those words? Well, it's not very clever. What does it spell out? Nearly killed me coming up with that. Thank you. You're very kind. You're very kind. I had to resort to the dictionary more than once, and if anyone's got a better "n", just let me know. Now, do note, though, that these words are all about positive personal qualities. Let's have confidence in ourselves, guys. Let's be loud and proud. No more hiding our lights under a bushel. No more self-deprecation. Now is the time for us to shine. We can't afford to wait for better times, for the stars to align, for the world to be a better, happier, easier place to be. Each and every one of us needs to be a committed ambassador for our profession. If footballers, actors and singers, I digress, did you know Celine Dion, she of Titanic fame, was a UN Goodwill Ambassador for Food and Agriculture? However, if footballers, actors and singers can take roles on like UN ambassadors, then surely we can speak out as OT ambassadors. So this is a call to arms, colleagues. You all know the saying, when the going gets tough, the tough get going, and now is the time for us to get going. Now, this is Naomi's last conference as chair of council, but thankfully not as an active member of the professional body, as she has agreed to now become chair of our audit committee. And our new chair, Sarah Foster, will assume the role from this point onwards, and we look forward to welcoming her. But over the past 4 years, Naomi has led the organisation through significant change. You will have heard about the form and function review of council and the subsequent governance changes. But her influence hasn't ended there. She has also supported internal changes within our organisation, a closer link between our governing council and the work of Unison, and a more formal approach to reviewing council's impact. She has chaired and attended countless meetings, met many members, chaired our UK OT Research Foundation Advisory Group and our annual awards panel, responded to 1 million+ emails, attended numerous royal events, 2 international leaders summits, and fronted up 4 AGMs. She not only deserves our heartfelt thanks for all she has done for the organisation and its members, but also a well-earned break. Please join me in conveying our thanks to Naomi. And now I'm going to digress slightly from my intended words. So anyone who's a tweeter, get ready, because I bring you breaking news. Yes, and it is exciting news, and you're going to hear it because you're here in the room. So tweeters get tweeting, so others hear it too. We have heard yesterday that the British Journal of Occupational Therapy has been awarded its first impact factor of 1.096. This is really excellent news, and it's important for the profession worldwide and puts the British Journal on the worldwide academic publishing map. Can we congratulate all those, both members and staff, who played a part in this very significant achievement? I'm not seeing any tweeting. There must be a tweeter in the room. Oh. 1.096. I'm told anything above 1 is absolutely fantastic. And we do have international colleagues here, so I won't say how we rank, but it's good. Not for me to crow. Well, now it really is time to come to the end, and I must make many thank yous to those people who make conference what it is. So thank you firstly to our chair, our 2 vice chairs, and all our council members for getting so involved, for chairing so many sessions and making themselves available to speak to members personally. We really recognise the work and time you give us. I want to thank the mental health, older people and work specialist sections who have run their conference alongside ours this year and shared, therefore, the huge effort that is involved in making these 3 days happen. The Conference Programme Committee are worthy of every moment of thanks we can give them. They do a great job of managing this conference and the scientific programme. It's important I thank all of my colleagues and college staff, both those that are here but those who are holding the fort back at base, for all the many hours they spend at conference and the hard work they do, both before, during and after the event. We need to thank our colleagues at Conference Collective, hi Jacinta, you and your gang, and the COT marketing team, hi Vandita, for quite literally making this happen. Without them, we couldn't put it together. Of course, we thank our sponsors. The exhibition is closed now, and I know you've all spent time in there. I thank you for spending time with them. They are very important to us. Ably coordinated by Mr. Paul Dunwell, for supporting our event and making it such a showcase for new technologies and products. And I also want to thank the courteous and helpful staff here at the SECC. Everyone I have spoken to has been so courteous and helpful. And isn't it fantastic to be in a place where people are warm and welcoming and helpful? So big thanks to them. I want to thank the stewards sitting over there from Glasgow Caledonian, who have also been excellent and helpful and supportive. And my goodness, you're going to make wonderful occupational therapists because you've had a chance to be here with us. And I want to thank... Yes, did that sound... Okay. And the... I didn't say me. And I want to thank the astonishingly patient AV crew. So can we all turn around and wave at our AV colleagues in this room and in other rooms, because they have been very patient too. So finally, of course, I have to thank all of you. I thank you for coming in and staying to the end, because it's always a bit of a frightening moment when you get to the last session. But I thank you for attending and supporting your professional association's conference. I thank you for listening, for challenging, and for reflecting, and thereby ensuring our profession goes from strength to strength. In closing, I want to wish you a safe journey home, and I hope to see you all at next year's conference in Brighton. In the meantime, please don't forget those words about when the going gets tough. Thank you.